Hey guys, welcome to the Fergie Time podcast. Today we're going to be talking MLB. We got our World Series predictions, biggest offseason moves, MVP predictions, Cy Young predictions, and anything else related to the MLB. Today we got on Will Seppi, Randall Seppi III. We got Taiyo, and then we got Connor, straight out of UCLA.
Fresh, looking sharp.
Yeah. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to hit you with our World Series predictions just to start off with. So do you guys have anyone that you see? Yeah, we can go from the AL and NL. You guys, do you have a team though that stands out to you?
Astros.
How come? Like what do you see in that?
Actually, they kind of lost some pitching.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll re-sign Keuchel. If they do, their rotation will be fine.
Is Keuchel still on the team?
I don't think so. Their bullpen's still pretty good, and their lineup is top 5 in baseball.
It's kind of insane. It was like their GM or someone said they got like three position players that could win like MVP.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I got Yankees, bro.
That's my number 2.
I can't do that.
But think about the Yankees in the playoffs, though. Like having those 4 guys in the pen in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, you just need 5 innings from your starter.
And they have like decent starting.
Yeah.
And obviously their lineup is what it is.
Yeah, they led the league in homers, I think.
Yeah.
Who's in the outfield for the Yankees?
Judge, Hicks, Gardner, maybe.
Yeah, Gardner.
That's a good outfield. But like I think the thing about the Astros is I feel like overall, I feel like they're a more well-rounded team than the Yankees. Like the Yankees are a team that, although they have like power, they have the insane power. They don't if they strike out, they're a high strikeout team. So if they're not connecting or not hitting well in a series,
They also walk a lot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Astros probably have a better all-around lineup, but.
And for what it's worth, the Astros will probably have a better record than them because they're not in as good a division. So home field advantage potentially come into play there.
Yeah.
What do you think about teams like the Phillies that went out and got?
Phillies are winning the East. I don't know how far they go, but the East, NL East is one of the better divisions in baseball.
Potentially.
With 3.5 legitimate teams.
That's might not be
3 legitimate teams. The Nationals do. I think they'll be okay still.
Yeah, I think the Nationals probably are.
And then obviously the Braves were good last year, and then they had Donaldson and.
Has Donaldson been good?
Maybe just Donaldson. He's been hurt.
Fair enough.
They're expecting good things from him.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about like the Indians?
I don't know what they're doing.
Their staff is nasty.
Their middle infield or their left side.
Who's in that? They don't have Miller anymore, right? Miller's from the Cardinals, right?
Could believe.
They don't have. I mean, I don't even know who's in their bullpen, and they don't have. They have that great of a line. I mean, their lineup.
Well, they have.
But they're in a weak division. They're in the worst.
They just stay winning the Central.
The Twins are the only team that could give them a run for their money this year because the Twins went out and made some moves.
Yeah.
But I still think the Indians win the division with like 88 wins.
Yeah. No, they're heavy favorites in it.
Yeah.
I would think. But yeah, they're not going to be able to play against the Astros and the Yankees in the playoffs.
Yeah, you saw last year against the Astros. That was fun.
Yeah. Sorry that they're going to win, bro. Take my boy Corey. It is what it is.
I guess my next question would be, do you think? So if it was Astros Yankees, do you think it really depends on who has like the home field advantage, or no? You think it's Astros? Like if they were to match up, and let's say the Yankees had home field, how many games do you think it would take?
6 or 7.
6 or 6?
Yeah, I think it'd go.
That'll be a good series. I hope that's the ALCS.
All right, and then so for NL you have the Phillies.
Probably the Dodgers again.
I'm gonna go with the Dodgers.
Yeah, bro.
It's gonna be Astros-Dodgers in this series.
The NL Central, a lot of teams making moves. Like the Reds. The Reds are having a decent team, but the division's too good.
Central, or the Reds had a while, I think, or a couple of years. They have a lot of young
It's gonna be a really interesting team though next year.
Yeah, they are a really interesting team.
I don't know. The Cubs are going to be worse. The Cardinals are going to be better. The Brewers. I don't know. I like the Cardinals to win the division.
I thought the Cardinals were gonna go so far last year.
Really?
Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know the Cardinals. They have those 2 young guys in the rotation that are really solid.
Well, I think my biggest question with the Dodgers though is like the health of Kershaw. I mean, because he has like for 5 years straight now had injuries that have, and he's also never showed up big in the playoffs. So they could go deep, I think, into the playoffs, but when it comes down to it, like the biggest situations, they
In
don't.
like each of the last 2 years, he hasn't pitched that well in the playoffs, and they've still
They shouldn't be able to get there.
Yeah.
They've had time of hitting. And
I guess
Bueller's just
they also do have a lot of young players who are about to hit their prime.
Yeah,
It's
hopefully,
like
hopefully Seager bounces
and
back
then
this year and has a good
Peterson
they're,
too.
They're projected. He's projected a really good year.
Watch for Seager's comeback player of the year.
MVP.
Nah.
What about a team like the Rockies that just re-signed Arenado? Where do you see them shaping up in terms of the playoffs?
Arenado got paid.
Oh, dude, what's his name? Marquez is
Marquez and Freddie.
Dude, Marquez is
They
so
did a good one
disgusting,
too.
bro.
I don't know. I think the wild cards are not going to come from the West, and I don't think they're winning the
The
division.
West isn't great.
So you know,
I think the teams in the Central and the East in the National League are too good.
yeah, I feel like I would say the best division in the National League would be probably the Central, because it's like every team there is decent. Like every team will be fighting to be around 500.
The Pirates will probably be the big
Whereas in the West, it's like
Pirates are a weird ass team.
What are they doing?
Pirates have a bunch of random players that are pretty good. They had Jung Ho Kong back too, right?
Sure. Chris Archer maybe is doing something.
Chris Archer.
He's at the Pirates now?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
what about the Braves?
I think we're actually good.
Yeah, I think the Braves are going to be good. I read a lot of articles that said they're going to regress this year. Because
They got a lot of pitching. That's
they have
coming
decent
up.
pitching. Their lineup's still pretty good with Freeman, Acuna, who probably won't do as good, but will still be pretty good. Hopefully, Albies will have a better year, and then Donaldson if he's healthy.
Do you think that like Harper will be the piece that pushes the Phillies over the top?
He's got to play like he's supposed to play.
Yeah.
If he's his MVP self, then
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was easily one of the better years in recent history.
If he plays again like he did last year, then no.
He wasn't bad last
You think he'll be above or like below expectations when he comes to Philly?
He had really high expectations, so I'm gonna say below.
Yeah.
Below.
But I think he'll be better than people give him credit
he's got
for.
crazy expectations for like this season he's coming off of. Like
Yeah,
people
that's
expect him to be so much better than he has been the last. Well, like you said, last year he wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but I mean he hasn't been anywhere close to what he was in his MVP season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting player because I mean when you're secured that much, we see so many players kind of take a back seat and.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, like him, Trout, Arenado, all the guys with like huge contracts.
Yeah.
But all those guys have still stuff to prove because they really haven't won that like at that high level,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're all still young. So I mean, if they do care about legacy and stuff like that, they'll have to cement it with some
Trout
winning.
cares about legacy. You gotta get out of LA.
Yeah, but he's 12 years
Poor
old.
man.
So
He ain't going nowhere.
No, he's not.
His
guys,
zero playoff
before
wins.
we transfer, I guess, over to like off-season moves, do you guys want to we'll run through everyone's predictions for the World Series, like what it's going to be and who you got winning.
Oh man. All right.
I'm gonna have to go with. I think it's gonna be the Astros over the Dodgers. It's not very exciting, but I think that's straight up what. Yeah.
What do you got, Will?
I'll go Yankees over. Alright, hold on. I'm picking a random team, you know. I want to say Mets, but I don't. Like, I want to say Mets because I was that team. But I'm gonna go Mets over. Not Mets over. Yankees over. Nationals. Nationals getting it done. Mad Max going on.
So
Mad Max.
wait up. So why do you
Strawberries
think
gonna be open.
the Yankees are better than the Astros then?
I just think the Yankees. I mean, I just like their bullpen a lot better in the playoffs. I
Uh-huh.
feel like the playoffs, like we've seen like the past 3 or 4 playoffs. I think the Royals really started it when they were making their runs. Just how important bullpens can be in the playoffs, and those guys
They
are
tried
all
to show it.
disgusting. Yeah, they just tried to show it, but they tried to show it in like the second inning. If you can get 4 or 5 innings out of your starter and go to those guys, I mean, yeah, I think they're in good shape. They probably have some decent middle relievers too, right? They don't have Robertson
Kansas.
anymore though.
Yeah, he's on the Phillies too, so
Yeah, Robertson, he's underrated.
he's consistent. Yeah.
I like him.
I don't want to say Astros over Dodgers, so I'll go Astros over Cardinals.
That was the other team I was thinking about, Cardinals.
You think Cardinals are better than Philly or the Dodgers?
Sure.
Convinced me.
I think the Cardinals win the division though.
Yeah, I have the Cardinals in the division.
Who are they pitching? They got Flaherty and
Nicholas.
yeah, I think those two guys have big seasons.
I think I'm gonna go Astros over Phillies, because I think Harper. I think that is a big pickup for them, but I don't think he can take it over the top. They just have they're just too deep. The Astros with their with their pitching, their starting pitching, and then just their players in general.
We talked about Nola on the podcast. I like Nola. Yeah, and I like Nola before. Nola can get deep in games. He's obviously he was one of the best pitchers in the NL last year, but he's a guy who can go 3 times around the order and still be good the third time.
He was second Cy Young.
Yeah. I think Nola's gonna be back to where he was last year. I think he'll be big in the playoffs if they make it.
So, all right, transitioning to off-season moves. What do you guys think the best move was? And let's just start off with Trout then.
Yeah,
It's got to be Trout.
12 years, $430 million, right? Is what
I think
the agreed amount was. And so, do you guys all believe he's being reasonably paid? Do you think overpaid,
Yes.
underpaid?
No.
I think
What's that? 35 a year? He's getting underpaid.
if anyone is worth that kind of money,
It's Sir Michael Trout.
yeah.
As
No one's close.
the best player in
He
baseball.
is the face of
Ever?
baseball right
As the
now.
resident best player in baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think he could be greatest of all time?
Yes.
What would he need to do to cement that for you? As greatest of all
He's
time?
slightly worse than he has been right now for the next 5 years.
Really? So
Yeah.
does winning a ring or getting a ring or anything like that matter to you?
No.
It's so.
What about
It's
MVPs?
sad.
If it was something like basketball, then
Yeah.
that could weigh pretty
It's so
heavily.
hard
But in
to
something like
control.
baseball, there's no way.
If you look
Yeah.
he finished third? Did they beat the Mariners? Third or fourth in division?
What about
Yeah.
MVPs? Anything else like that?
He's one off.
He's
So-
gonna win 3 or 4 more
You
for
think
sure.
so?
At least, yeah.
Where
Like
do
he
you-
said, consistently better statistics in all of his not MVP seasons since he won MVP. He won MVP and it just got better. So it's just
He didn't win MVP and was better than the MVP.
Yeah.
So as he ages, do you think he'll change? Because this is an interesting topic. I thought was as he ages, do you think he'll move to maybe somewhere like first base or DH potentially in the future?
I
To
think he's
play that
already
one?
playing slower than he was when he first came up.
it was actually he's the last couple of years he's actually improved his defensive WAR
Yeah.
in center field. He's actually becoming a better center fielder right now.
I think if they move him anywhere, it'll just be left field.
Well, how old is he right now? He's 26, 27. So by the time that contract ends, he's going to be 39. You think?
Yeah.
I don't think at that point he can be a center fielder anymore. Because he won't have the same. He won't the.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd move to left?
Yeah, I think he stays in the outfield.
He's played left before for decent parts of seasons.
I could see him DHing just
I mean, if
because.
they have Ohtani for a long time,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
locking that spot up.
So you think left field?
Corner outfield is where you go once you just hit jacks.
Would you be willing to pay him any more?
Sure.
Would you be give
As much as he wants.
If you were if you were GM, would you give him $500 million?
How many years? I'd give him 40 a year.
Would you?
Yeah.
Might have to.
How much is Greinke?
What'd you do?
Making 30 plus a year?
I saw something that said Scherzer made 42 last year. I don't know.
42.
Whoa.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I saw.
Right, Scherzer's probably the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. For 42 million for
But I'd still take Mike Trout over Scherzer any
I
day.
think my draft over Andy Bear.
Yeah.
So if you were a GM, you'd be willing to give him 500
Based on
for 12 years. or
based on
something
what they're
like that?
giving other people, I don't know. I feel like
If Harper's worth 300,
if Harper's
whatever,
worth 330, then he's worth 800 million.
you think so?
No.
If you can guarantee having Mike
I'd
Trout
say-
for 12 years, I mean, you
I think it's worth
can pay
$500 million,
Yeah.
especially when you don't have a salary cap to worry about. Artie
I feel
Moreno.
the only issue with paying him that much is how you guys just talked about. You said this, Connor. How in baseball, a player can only have so much impact on the team.
Mhm.
So when you spend that kind of money on him, he's not gonna. It's not like he's gonna guarantee you a chip. Whereas the way a LeBron would or someone like that. I mean,
I don't know.
not this season, but the way Giannis, a LeBron, a KD would.
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole 12 years they'd make it out of the first round of the playoffs.
So
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. If
I feel but you still can't let the
But no,
greatest
you
baseball
can't
player of
let-
all
you can't
time
let Mike Trout walk.
exactly.
So okay, so you guys think Trout's deserving of that kind of money?
Yeah.
All right.
If
I
anybody
think
is.
so.
Okay.
It's
What
definitely him.
about Harper then? Would you give Harper if you're an organization?
So he's
No.
gonna be mid-20s, $1 million a year. I can't really imagine signing anyone to those 13 years.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing. Even as a player, though, imagine committing your life to one city for the next
it's nice because
13
you know
years.
that while you might be worth $25 million a year now, in 13 years there's no shot you're worth $25 million. So that's nice.
That's the thing. Is if he got signed like a 6-year deal, then he would get screwed probably when he turns.
He'd
whenever,
get
like,
screwed
32.
in that sense, but he'd still have made $30 million a year. So if you're screwed, then you messed up somewhere.
I just don't know. Like, I don't know if he's actually worth it. I feel like in terms of he's like box office, whereas like people will show up to the games to watch Bryce Harper play no matter how good the Phillies are, and they're gonna have a good team. So I think in that aspect he brings people to the ballpark. But in terms of just his playing ability, I feel like, I mean, would you say he's a top 10 player in baseball even?
No.
So that would mean there's 10 players in baseball who should be getting paid higher than Bryce Harper.
I wouldn't have signed him that long. Like, obviously, I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah, I don't think you could have signed him for less than that.
Yeah, but like I would, if I was a GM, like my dream contract for him would be like 4 years, and I'd give him more a year because I mean what he could be and how much money.
I think
$30 million a year for like 4 years.
4 or 5 years.
I think that's what everybody was trying to do, but like you're saying, that's not what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Do you think Harper, like between Trout and Harper, I know we all agree that Trout is way better than Harper. Do you think long term, like Trout will be won't have as big of a fall off as Harper will? Like, how do you think that will work out over the years when they?
Well, I feel like you guys say Trout's gonna have a bigger drop off because Trout is substantially better.
Harper's. I read a Fangraphs article. Harper might have already passed his prime.
Yeah.
It might have been his age 22 season when he had like an 11 WAR and 1 MVP.
I feel like Harper's gonna settle into being like a 270, like 35 home run guy. Like I don't think he'll ever
Just like a solid.
just like a really good power hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he hit home runs and he walked a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for what people thought he could have been, that's like obviously not everything that people wanted him to be, but I think that's still.
Yeah, because people like before last year they're talking about giving Harper $500 million on a contract.
Yeah, and then his contract year was not.
No, it's pretty.
Great.
Not great.
But I mean, there is one thing that Harper's better at than Trout, and that's just like that's what you were talking about earlier, just like getting people to the ballpark. Yeah, like people also kind of know about Bryce Harper, and so there's a lot more value there.
Well, yeah, because in some ways Harper is almost more the face of baseball, not because of his skill, but he's polarizing. Like, people want to go. Yeah,
people want to see him fight Hunter Strickland.
Yeah.
Like.
Mariners Nationals? Mariners Phillies? Yeah.
Alright, what do you guys think about the Nolan Arenado deal? 8 years, 260.
Best third baseman in baseball.
He's the second best third baseman in baseball.
So would you rather give out?
Is nice.
Would you rather give out a Harper contract or an Arenado? Like, who would you, if you were a team? Like,
I would say Arenado because there's more players like Harper than there are like Arenado.
Yeah.
He's also, it's only an 8-year deal, so you're not gonna have to deal with the decline.
28.
Let me check right here. He was 27 last season.
Serious?
So.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an interesting thing. It's like if you're the Angels and you have Trout on your team, then it's like you need to have Trout. Like that's the person you need to make the move for.
Yeah.
But if you're just like a neutral team that's not attached to either of them, then you would want to go for Arenado.
Trout versus Arenado, you go Arenado.
Yeah. Just cause like I don't know. It's like we're saying like Mike Trout is basically a baseball god, but like you're saying,
have so much impact.
Exactly. And so, like, you can't let him slip away, but you also don't have to pay him $400 million.
Yeah, I think Arenado, that is a better contract in terms of you're not going to be locked up with him forever. You're not going to have to deal necessarily with the decline. Like, Albert Pujols, when the Angels paid him, like he was, I mean, even at the beginning of the contract, he underperformed. But, having that kind of deal is just tough for a franchise to deal with, and it's hard to bring in other players. And the Angels are still dealing with that in terms of they spent so much money on him, and trying to rebuild is hard after doing that.
Like the Yankees signed Cano to long extension and they traded him, and I think I don't actually know who's paying that contract anymore, but he's not on the Mariners either.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Mets picked it all up, but.
I think the thing about Harper though, compared to Arenado, is Harper does have a greater upside than Arenado. Like he could be a generational type player, whereas Arenado will be a very good player and a top. I mean, would you say Arenado's top 5 in the game?
Right now?
No.
I'd give him top 10.
Yeah, I think top
Probably.
He's better.
Nah.
He's better than Harper though.
Top
based
12.
on his
Right now.
past couple of seasons,
Top 12.
right?
Maybe top 13. Yeah.
So I think I guess he has a lot less years on his deal. That's why the money is. Why do you think the Rockies weren't willing to lock him up as long? Because I'm sure Arenado would have liked a 10-year, 12-year deal. Do you think there's a reason why that didn't happen?
When
8 years is a long time.
Yeah, that is a long deal.
was it Harper signed, then Arenado signed, then Trout signed? Was that like the chronological order?
I think it was Arenado first. And
So do you think it just has something to do with Arenado didn't realize that like
Also Machado,
people are getting locked up for this long?
yeah, we're gonna go Machado next.
Just because it's like, I don't know, because like when one person sets the market, that's kind of what you go with.
Well, yeah, so like the Trout thing after the Harper thing.
Exactly.
So transitioning now to Machado, what do you guys think about that deal and him ending up in San Diego?
They're gonna be good soon.
No one really saw that coming though, right?
Didn't Henry call it?
Did he? I don't know. We're gonna have to check the last tape on the podcast. But,
Tapes, but I thought they were definitely in the conversation.
They were in it for a little bit. I didn't know they were like super serious about it.
yeah, I thought he was gonna end up.
Yeah, it was pretty White Sox. I feel like was the consensus.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna be good soon.
Imagine you went to the
What about Arenado or Machado?
Machado's gonna be playing short.
Had Arenado. Yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah, I got that personal bias. I would take Arenado. I don't like Machado at
I don't
all.
really like either, if I'm being honest, but I'd take
I
Arenado.
like. Yeah, I definitely like Arenado more. I think. I don't know. I think Machado should go back to playing third base.
Yeah, but if Machado's playing short, he's more valuable if he's giving those offensive numbers as a shortstop.
But Machado isn't. He's not a great defensive shortstop, is he?
He got better towards the end of the year, but last year was his
But
worst.
he at third base, he was a very good.
He was incredible.
Yeah, he was a good defender. He won while playing third place. He won. It says here he won 2 Gold Gloves. So, and he's definitely not going to be doing that as short.
So he's,
How long do you think it takes for the Padres to be playoff / contending team?
they got like middle infield prospects like the Luis Urias guy. I think he plays second, and then like Fernando Tatis Jr. Do you know when he plays?
Nah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be good.
Yeah, pitching prospects.
I'm thinking definitely not this year. I'd say next year. This year's a kind of throwaway season. Next year,
3 or 4 years.
I think next year is probably like the first meaningful baseball they're gonna play. A couple more signings, that sort of thing.
I'll give him third.
And then the third year, I would say, their third year
so like
together.
2021.
Yeah, I would say they have a good shot at making the playoffs.
I'd say 2021 earliest.
And at that point, he's still only gonna be like 28.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but they're gonna have to like.
Gee, how old is he right now?
He's 25.
He's 25.
Or
Whoa.
25 in last season, so probably 26
And
now.
Machado's 26.
He's 26,
Wow.
yeah.
He's been around for like what, 6 years?
He's
Yeah,
been
he's
with
way-
Baltimore since he was 19, so yeah, like 7 years now.
Really good.
Yeah, he was an all-star his second year at age 20.
Yeah, he started producing.
But
I mean, I don't know. I think he would have been a better shortstop now if he had played shortstop
Yeah,
in
that's true.
Baltimore. But they're like, no, we have JJ Hardy. So.
What a legend.
Do you think Machado will ever win an MVP?
Not until Mike Trout retires.
What about do you think Harper will win another? Do you think Harper will win another MVP?
I can see it.
I mean, yeah, he's got the potential.
I
I don't
think
think he's gonna win it next year, but you know.
yeah, he'll have another really good season for sure, MVP season before he's done. Any other moves in this offseason that just stood out to you in terms of either trades, transactions, anything like that?
I always thought the Dodgers were gonna get Harper just because they traded
got rid of
they traded their outfielders.
Yeah, well, they must have thought they were
Yeah,
going to get him.
they must have been thinking they were gonna get
Had
him.
to settle for AJ Pollock.
I like Pollock,
I like
but
him too.
He's a homie.
No, Harper.
no, it's not Harper. But no, I think he'll be solid for them. I don't know. I think the Dodgers have like solid players at every position.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why
They're deep.
like I don't know. I think they.
And like Justin Turner and like mid-30s still producing.
I kind of like their mix of older veterans and then also younger guys because they do have some guys who are just about to like hit their prime with Seager, Peterson.
Muncie's like still only 26, I think.
Yeah, so those guys are all about.
What happened to Max Muncy, bro? You remember when we had him?
Dude,
Yeah, I feel like
our lineup with
that-
Davis and Chapman, Piscotty, Wilson.
If only. If only.
Nah, I
Yes,
feel like the
Seager's
Dodgers,
only 25 right now.
I feel like they're gonna be comfortable together. The Dodgers. That same
Yeah.
core's been together a while.
That's why they're going to the World Series and getting beat by the Astros.
How important do you think? How important do you think Kershaw is in terms of their playoff run?
Not very.
I don't think he's that.
Like,
I mean,
to get to the
obviously
playoffs
it's
or
nice to have.
in the playoffs.
Yeah. In the playoffs, not very.
You don't think he's gonna be that important in the playoffs? Like, I feel like in order for the Dodgers to actually win a World Series, they're gonna need Kershaw to be elite.
Between like lineup,
I don't know.
rotation, and bullpen in the playoffs, rotation is the least important.
Yeah, that's
They
yeah.
need Jansen back, and they have Joe Kelly now, right?
Yeah, they got some guy throwing 100 in spring training. I don't know if he's making the team, but
And it's like you were saying earlier, like they've done it they've got the World Series past couple of years with Kershaw's typical playoff performance.
I
So
think the issue is though they haven't won yet, so they're gonna need him. They're gonna need him to push them over the
Who was in
hump.
the rotation?
still,
Ryu.
do they still have him? No,
Might.
it's Alex Wood.
I mean,
Rich Hill,
Oh,
They still have Rachel?
I think so.
It
Yeah.
is in the pen, I think.
Maeda still in the pen. Maeda went from about 89 in the rotation to 95 in the pen.
Kershaw hasn't started 30 games since 2015. So
I feel like fewer people are starting 30.
and Kershaw also hasn't thrown 200 innings since 2015 either. He's thrown 149, 175, 161. So I think this is
like 180.
Yeah, 180.
you think this year.
No, I don't think it'll be 180.
How many do you think?
60 maybe.
Because he's already injured, so he's not even going to be
He's not.
starting.
Is he not?
He's not going to be starting opening day.
That's my guy.
In terms of greatest pitchers of all time, where do you guys see Kershaw?
Oh,
Top 5.
Top 5. If they were to win a World Series with him pitching well, would you? No.
Regular season pitchers, sure.
I
Top
don't
five.
really think about. I don't really think playoffs matter when we're talking about.
So you win.
Top 0.
Really, top 5? Like,
I think so. Who else?
I mean, he has 3 Cy Youngs and MVP. He's gotten second in the Cy Young twice. He should have won this one. That was against
239.
That was against R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, he lost to Dickey that
when
one
Dickey won it with the knuckleball.
was that after comeback from
And
the
then
mountain?
in 2017, who won the Cy Young? Max Scherzer.
I want to say like he had his first 7 years or something. At the end of each season, his career ERA had gone down.
His career ERA right now is
239.
Yeah, 239.
Yeah, I mean.
And he's had several years under 2. He had
Wasn't Max
1.8.
Scherzer like 2.9 something last year?
He had 1.8, 1.7, 1.69.
Yeah, I mean
That's insane. But he also, the 1.69 year, he only pitched like 150 innings.
It's still pretty good.
Only 150.
And he's had a 300 strikeout year too.
Yeah. Like when he can go. What's his career strikeouts per 9.8? It's pretty good for a starter.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Kershaw. I think he's going to be key to the Dodgers
I think he's
winning
he can
a World
kinda,
Series.
He's never gonna be like as nasty as he was, but
No.
I mean he's using the slider a lot.
Well,
now.
the mix of the slider and that curveball is
Yeah.
just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I think he could be like. I think he could settle into. I think he could settle into having a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
If he stays healthy this year, he'll find himself back in the Cy Young conversation.
Well, if you're the Dodgers, don't let him pitch, let him throw, of course, and let him play, but don't let him go too often deep into games.
I think he's more important in the regular season than he is in the playoffs, man. Like, I
For
think
getting them to the playoffs.
Does it really matter though where they as long as they make the playoffs, does it matter that
I
much?
guess that's true.
Yeah, they're gonna win the division.
Yeah.
Because if he threw something like 200 innings or something, and then he's
Oh no, he should
hurting,
throw 200.
he's hurting in the how much do you think elite starters not throw in terms of innings?
Like 220.
Did he throw that many?
Wow.
I honestly, I think him or Scherzer led the league.
Scherzer's up there.
Scherzer's a horse.
Yeah.
So, but 220 is now considered.
200.
200 is a lot now.
Yeah, 200. You're doing a lot.
Okay, because I think that's part of the evolution of baseball a little bit.
Like 200 is like the benchmark now. 200.
Yeah.
Not 200.
There's just a huge emphasis on the bullpen now.
Yeah, because looking even at Kershaw, 2010 200, 2011 233, and he wasn't even leading the MLB at that point.
Yeah.
That he had like 5 or 6 consistent seasons over 200, 220. So, let's look at what we got next. You got Cy Young prediction, Will?
For NL or AL? NL.
Yeah.
I'm not going NL.
DeGrom's got to repeat.
You think so? I want to say DeGrom because obviously that's my guy.
He's not going to be as good. He'll be good.
I think DeGrom or you know what? I'm going Nola.
I like that.
Nola.
I like that.
Or Walker Buehler. No, I don't think it's
Was he rookie last year too?
last year.
He went rookie. No, 2 years.
I go with Nola. Nola's.
Yeah.
Nola's.
I'm going to say big Scherzer.
Scherzer. What about you?
That's what I was gonna go with.
Sure.
Matthew Scherzer. Maxwell.
AL, so
It's not going to be Sale.
it's gonna be some Indians.
It's not going to be Snell.
No, it's not. Definitely not gonna be Snow.
Stroman.
Stop.
I like Trevor Bauer.
Oh, you think so?
He did Mike Fires.
Brett Anderson. Bounce back
Brett
season.
Anderson.
It's happening. You saw it. 91.
If Brett Anderson throws 100 innings, he's
Give me Verlander, bro.
You think? After that fat contract extension?
Oh no.
Just had a kid.
Taller than me, bro. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Not Verlander. It'll work.
Put it in a shift.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Bauer.
I like Bauer. Kluber. Maybe. I don't know. Dude, Kluber's so good.
He's so consistent.
Dude, like he just eats innings, bro.
How important do you guys think having a ace is to a team? Like, do you think it
Season?
would you rather have
It's really important when you end up in a wild card game.
what about just the playoffs in general? Do you think
Liam Hendricks.
having a better starting rotation is more important, or do you think a bullpen?
In the
regular
playoffs
season
or
In the playoffs. Bullpen?
Yeah.
What about regular season?
rotation?
You
Rotation.
need you guys to get innings in
Okay.
regular season.
Yeah, well, yeah. You can't throw guys in the bullpen like. You can only probably throw them like 3 times a week,
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a week.
All right. If you had a team and you had a playoff, like a 1-game wild card, who would you want to pitch for you?
Max Scherzer
Probably.
or DeGrom. Actually, enter DeGrom because Scherzer's giving up home runs, and DeGrom still hasn't given up more than 3 runs in like ever. So yeah, probably DeGrom.
Yeah.
DeGrom or Scherzer though.
Bauer.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler.
2014 Bumgarner.
Playoff.
Give me Liam Hendricks.
Bounce back here. Sonny Gray. There it is.
Where is he?
He's the Reds, right?
Reds?
Yeah.
Reds are the score. Dude, the Reds clubhouse must be the most interesting place to be. It's in the middle of Ohio.
With
Puig. Kemp too.
Joey
Yeah.
Votto.
Joey
Joey
Votto and Puig.
That's the squad.
Bro, that is the duo.
Like, how do you think they communicate? Like,
Twitter.
like Puig and Wada are like they're complete opposites in terms of like personality.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, that's gotta be an interesting clubhouse. Holy.
All right, and then finally to wrap it up, who do you think's gonna have a breakout season?
Did we do MVP predictions?
We did.
Swear
Did
to
we?
God.
Nah.
Mike Trout.
No,
do we not? Did we say
Nah,
that?
nah. Yeah,
All right, let's do MVP predictions.
Got your Trout, right?
Trout?
Alright, I'm gonna predict second place.
I feel like Trout's gonna be like LeBron. Like he's definitely gonna be the person who deserves it, but he's not gonna get it.
Nah, he'll win this year. Cause
Nah, yeah, it's just been a couple of years since he had it.
Too long.
Who else do you think could give Trout a run for his money?
Betts if he does what he did last year. Which he was on.
I don't know about people giving him a run for his money, but like I don't know. I think it's like solid second place. I'm gonna go with Matthew Chapman.
Honestly,
Dude, I
Mike
can
Myers
see
would
it.
be
I
top
can
five.
see it. Is it my phone? Give me Zach Britton. Bounce back year. MVP.
The 7th inning MVP.
Yeah. No, Britain's getting an 8th at least. They should give him a 9th, bro.
What do you think about someone like an Aaron Judge or
Aaron Judge
Giancarlo
is an
Stanton,
animal.
where if they were just in terms of
It sucks.
if they were just to hit a ton of home runs or something like
Judge
that?
is a top 10 player in the majors.
How'd Stanton win an MVP?
He had 52, 52
Yeah.
runs.
Do you think
An
if he had
obscene amount.
if he had like a 60 home run season or something like that?
No.
Do you think so you don't think he still wins MVP?
If you win MVP and you don't play defense,
Yeah,
the rest of
for
the league
real.
sucks.
What about
Jose Ramirez,
yeah, Jose Ramirez?
I like him.
I liked him last year.
And he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, he's just not as good.
He's not Michael Trout.
Do you think he's
Also, he got hurt today.
do you think he's a top 10
player?
He's also really young too. He's 26.
Yeah. Dude, him and Lindor. I like
Yeah.
Lindor over Ramirez, but
That's a good size infield right
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna say he's top 15 without thinking about it too hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say he's the second best third baseman in baseball right now.
So everyone's hands down on Trout for MVP.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Unless he gets injured. But he's not getting injured.
And then you don't see anyone like close to him.
I don't know. Like I feel like it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna say Matthew Chapman. I'm calling it right now.
Really?
I wouldn't be like shocked if it didn't happen. But if I had to bet my life on Mike Trout or anybody else,
Okay.
Yeah,
If we're betting our lives on it, but
anybody else total, I'm betting
Yeah,
Mike
Trout versus the field, I'm taking Trout.
yes.
I got to.
Who do you think's gonna lead the MLB in home runs this year?
Joe
Chris
McNeil.
Davis.
Jeff McNeil.
Give me, who is it, Mike Nicholas?
Wait, going back to
Stop.
Chapman real quick though, the thing is he's not like a proven commodity in terms of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
we haven't
you're
even
awesome.
he's had one good season really.
Yeah. I think that was the setup.
Huh?
He's only played 1.5 years.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like he had a good season last year, but
He had a really good
And he
season
got
last
better in
year.
the second half, so if he continues to progress,
He had a bomb in Japan, right?
he did it a bomb.
Oh boy.
I would say Harper's more likely to win an MVP
Then Chapman?
than Chapman.
I would agree with that.
Also,
Wait, next year or
I would say
That-
going back to this, I think Harper is the sexy pick to win MVP.
I got
Are
a
we
family
doing NL? We
thing.
should do NL.
MVP predictions gone
no
sexual is
idea
going to be
for
the
NL.
title.
Oh, jeez.
The second pick, because of all that money he's gotten and going to Philly, I feel like that's a big deal. Like the Trout story is huge because of the amount of money he got, but he's still staying with the Angels, and they're gonna.
New year, Harper's a new team. Harper's just all that.
I think Harper's gonna be like more motivated than normal this year. I'd say like Harper is gonna start to slow down 3-4 years from now once he's like he knows the contract obviously now, but I feel like he won't have as much to prove if he has success early, and then he'll kind of slow down then. But in terms of like this season, I feel like Harper could challenge for MVP.
Sure, MVP pick in NL.
You go.
Oh, dude, NL's hard.
Yeah.
Who went last year? Oh, Yelich. Not gonna be him. I'd say Arenado's a pretty safe pick.
Oh yeah, that is actually. I don't know.
I'm pulling for my guy Joey Votto.
Joey Votto.
I'd say
Joey
Votto's-
he's
Joey
top
Votto's
5
a
underrated
good-
players in baseball.
Dude, he's
How long has he been
top
playing
player.
for now?
Anthony Rendon.
No.
How old is Joey Votto?
Anthony Rendon.
Votto. Actually,
I don't know.
Anthony Rendon.
I'll put him up there.
Really
He's a
good.
beast.
Joey Votto is gonna be 35.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking Renato.
Joey Votto had 12 home runs last year and 67 RBIs.
12? Wait, how many?
You got him, Ty?
Oh no.
Not the second.
He was an all-star though.
He's the record perennial all-star.
GG's.
That is it.
What was his on base though?
Oh my god.
417. Just like 419.
No.
He's bouncing back. The 3 previous years, he was
Right,
over
he's old,
155 weighted runs created plus. He was 131 weighted runs created plus. Nah, he's MVP. He's returned to form. Actually, no, he's losing power as he gets older.
Yeah, he's gonna get worse.
Doesn't put anything in the air.
Give me Arenado.
What about
I
you?
want to pick somebody at the East.
Taylor Goldschmidt.
Ooh.
I'd be like Goldie.
Out of the East?
I want to pick somebody at the East, bro. I want to like a Cunha or something.
Freeman.
I was gonna say that's other.
Dude,
I like Freeman. I like Freeman a lot.
I like Freeman, yeah. I mean, if you want to go to the East, say Scherzer, DeGrom.
I was about to say no too.
I'm thinking Scherzer.
For MVP.
For MVP.
Watch it happen.
In order to win MVP as a pitcher, you have to have like
Who was
a
the last person to do it?
like
Verlander
a
or
special type of year.
Kershaw.
Verlander did it though, right?
Verlander did do it. I feel like Verlander's almost like a better postseason pitcher.
Yeah, if DeGrom was on a good team last year, he was really MVP.
Do you guys want to?
Freeman. I'll go Freddie Freeman.
Freddie
He's a
Freeman.
good defense.
I like that pick.
Yeah. I feel like he's just a hell of a good hitter. Like,
Yeah.
his shots.
He looks you with a nice 900 ups.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Give me Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman. Last year he
Give me Dansby Swanson.
Don't give me
23 home
You need to get
runs.
off Dansby.
23 home runs.
He was out there in intentional walks last year because he had 8. When I get to the picture.
Who you got for leading league in home runs?
Chris Davis.
Chris Davis.
Uh-oh.
What about Judge Stanton?
Oh, dude, Judge hits balls. It won't
In
be
that
Stanton.
park too.
In that small.
How old is Stanton?
29.
That's what I was
Watch
gonna say.
Stanton at like 75.
Age
He,
23.
he definitely could. It's just like, I don't know.
Isn't Judge still like 27?
How old?
He's 27?
How old is Chris Davis?
30
Dude,
something.
honestly, he's ambiguous.
How? I remember him in Milwaukee not really being that great of a player.
Is this Davis? He was
Yeah.
31 last year.
He hit
Or
48
31.
last year.
Yeah, he led the league last year.
Got it.
JD Martinez though.
Oh shit. JD?
Hot take, Chris Davis bats 247 next year.
That's not that hot.
Sure he does.
You think Chris Davis is gonna have a season? You think he'll hit over 40 home runs next year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you think he's still getting like he's not gonna start declining anytime soon?
Not yet.
What time? When do you think
He doesn't really do much
Honestly,
besides
I don't
try to
know.
hit home runs. Like,
Chilling.
I don't know how he's in decline yet. His swing is ugly, and he swings a lot of bad balls.
but his work, I feel like he's just like, he's got a rhythm. Past 3 is just, I'm going to try and hit home runs, and that's about
Got the
it.
approach down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mental game, locked.
That's my bad.
you think Chris Davis could ever win an MVP?
No.
People said
He was
should have
eighth
been
in
in
voting
conversation
last year.
He wasn't even the best player on his team.
Yeah.
247 when the MVP. I'm pissed.
And then
His defensive war, though, that could take him over the top for it.
Stanton's 29.
Sorry,
When-
none.
When Stanton won MVP, he hit 59 homers.
59.
So do you think if he hit 60, you think he win MVP?
If he hit 60, then Judge hit 70.
Hot take.
Is New York a hitters
Yes.
friendly park?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ballpark?
Alright, here's a real hot take for you. Judge
Is this a
and
sexy
Judge
pick,
and
though?
Stanton this year will out-homer the Giants.
That's insane.
Still a lot.
How many did Judge have last year?
Did they not do that last year?
Judge
But
ran
he
like
was
40.
injured. Judge had 52.
Did the Giants have anybody that hit more than like 15 home runs?
No shot.
Alright, and then
Alright, the Giants last year hit 133 home runs.
Alright, so this year we got 115. They could do it.
How many did the A's hit on the road?
Like 170, no shot. 160.
Oh, that's the Mets. That's what we choose. So, what's league home runs?
Now we're 21st. More than one game.
20, dude. Our ballpark is fat.
Yeah, that must
oh yeah, it's not easy. Like it's a
City
pitcher's
Field
park for
is
sure.
huge.
They had a home run derby there, though.
Yeah, they did.
Wasn't Joe Mel in a
Should've
home run
asked if
movie?
that's-
Evan Longoria led the Giants in home runs last year with 16.
Oh, no.
Evan Longoria.
Out of board. He was really good in Tampa.
Second.
Corgis!
What's his deal? The Red Sox?
He's on some random ass team.
Alright. I got one final
You wouldn't expect
question.
Gorky's
One final
face.
question before we wrap up. Who do you think is gonna have a breakout season next year? Like, who do you think could take? You could like, breakout could go two ways. Like, it could be a young player who's gonna like do very well, or it could be someone who's like a all-star and is gonna become like an MVP candidate. Who do you think that next step is, or taking that next step?
You taking Matt Chapman, Connor?
Ramon Laureano.
No, based on his, I hate him now.
Actually, I would like Matt Chapman a lot more for that like, breakout season.
He's batting 300 right now in the spring. Spring training.
Neil breakout season. He's hitting 330.
85 jacks.
No, for real though, he could hit over 300 this year.
With 8 jacks.
Maybe 15 on a good day.
I'm be real. I don't
Jeff
even know who
McNeil.
Jeff
would be a good
McNeil is.
Jeff
He is the
McNeil
second baseman on the New York Mets.
Yeah, and not anymore. Put him in left field.
Robinson?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Lowry's playing
he's an
center.
outfielder.
Once he's healthy.
Ah, dude, Jeff McNeil's such a good hitter. Like, obviously,
Doesn't
he
hurt
does
his
now.
He hit 330. He hit 330 last year.
I swear to God. How many games?
Wait, actually?
Yeah, 63 games. 225 at bats.
Nah, he was our best hitter second half.
Who was rookie of the year last year?
Acuna and Ohtani.
Who do you think's breakout player for you?
Are we in both leagues?
No.
Okay.
Just just choose a player.
Safe pick again, Vlad Jr. Once he breaks the league, once he breaks the show.
How old is Vlad Jr.?
19.
19.
Is he 19?
That was good out there.
You think he'll be as good as his dad?
I was saying maybe not. 'cause
That's Hall of Fame. What about Bueller?
She's already-
He did kind of. Do you think he could go from? Do you think he could go from like a? Because he didn't even win Rookie of the Year last year. Do you think he could go from like a Rookie of the Year candidate to MVP candidate? I mean, not MVP, Cy Young candidate.
I want to see if he can actually like work games, like go like 7 and 8 innings in a game.
He went deep sometime last year.
Did he? Though?
He threw last year. He threw like about in the regular season 140 innings.
But he didn't start the year up, did he?
He had 23 starts. He'll probably
Oh,
bump
wow.
that up to like
To like 28.
yeah.
27. 27 and a half.
How many innings do you think they'll let him throw?
He'll get 170.
170.
Like his stuff is nasty. If he can learn how to control a ball game, like he could be like a Verlander type pitcher.
Dude, who's catching for them now?
That doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
Okay.
That's a good question though.
Is it Austin Barnes?
They got rid of
Who?
Yates.
Yeah, he's on the Brewers.
Oh. Probably the Brewers. That was the year last year.
Yeah, it really was.
That was their shot.
Wait, so you have Vlad Jr.?
I mean, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll just wrap it up on that note. Vlad Jr. for
No. Ramon Laureano.
Vlad Jr.
Vlad Jr.
Dude,
for
this dude-
MVP and President 2020.
That is, bro.
He's showing you that
Alright. He's batting like 300 right now in the preseason.
Spring training.
Yes, yes. It's all I got to go on right now. And
Did he play last year?
Trout press conference. He was actually pretty decent last year.
Okay, pretty decent.
he's got the defensive skills on
Where's
lock.
the upside?
I'm not saying
He's got the defensive skills on lock.
Bro,
People already know kind of who he is from the Instagram sensation with that throw. I feel like that's just.
I like Jeff McNeil. I think that's a hot.
You didn't know who he was.
Based on how he hit last year, that's a hot take right
Jeff McNeil.
there. Jeff McNeil for MVP.
that is
Yes.
awesome.
All right, guys.
It's a
take
very
it
hot
easy.
take.
If Jeff McNeil wins MVP, Mets won the World Series. End the podcast. It's over.
Thank you guys for watching.
It's over.
If you guys want to go follow me on Instagram at the Fergie Time Podcast,
Yes.
you should go do that. You know,
Yes.
boys links will be in the description as well.
Yes.
And also,
Who made that?
yeah, who made that?
Who made that?
Woo.
It's like a shark.
And then yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 150 by the end of March. It's looking kind of rough, but you should go hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
Oh my
We're at
god.
136
This ain't live, right?
136 subs. Come on, we got this.
150.
And then what else we got going on? 200 by end of April. You already know what it is.
Come on, we need
Instagram.
goal.
We're at like 499. Let's get it to 500.
Let's get to 500.
We better be able to get 500, alright?
And
Say 1K by March. Who?
what?
Who said
I'm saying 1K by December. But guys, take it easy. Peace. See you later.
Hey.